All right, we're back. JuddzBudz, episode 156. Wayne Gretzky plus Dakota Mermis. As always, a host, Spokesy, joined by my good buddy, Mr. At State of Hoppy. Hoppy, how we doing?
Mermis was 57? I didn't even realize that.
At one point. He
More
switched,
you know.
I think, eventually, whatever it was. But he was number 57.
Nice. Well, apparently we're doing the Michael Jordan flu game here, and we're going to have like our best episode ever because we are both dog-ass sick, but plenty of good things to talk about, so we're just going to power through and do our best. But there's a lot of fun stuff going on, at least.
My joints ache, like every single one. Like I stood up earlier and just like fell over.
What are you sick with?
I don't know, but I've been sick on and off since fucking Christmas. And like I haven't gone like a stretch of 7 to 10 days where I haven't felt like shit. And it's been something. Absolutely battling though. But yeah, dude, the fucking like the achy joints is my least favorite feeling in the fucking world. And today it's I thought it was the spine. I thought it was just the fact that I have such bad back issues. And then eventually I was like, oh no, it's literally all of my joints. Okay, great. This is wonderful. But yeah, no, I feel great. It's awesome. Just battling Jordan flu game times 2 because you also feel like shit. I guess, yeah, no, we
Dr.
do have a lot to
You got the HIV. You got the AIDS. That's such, I mean, obviously will always go down as like an elite episode, the Dennis system, but just that finale of Frank coming in and just torching everything just makes it.
I love but the episodes, I mean, like Frank's always unhinged, but like when Frank just is fully like the center of the episode / or just like a 5-minute fucking absolute tear that he goes on, it's like those are my favorites. But
oh yeah,
just incredible stuff.
And now I see him on Jersey Mike's commercials, so full circle. Oh shit. But yeah, where to start here? This one's just weird. I don't even like know how much attention to give it because I don't know how serious it was, but I usually listen to Friedman and not Jeff Merrick for like more information on things I already know, right? Rather than like, oh, I'm looking to like hear about something that I have no clue exists. Today they dropped something that was like out of nowhere for me. Maybe you heard about this, but they were talking about the NHL awards and how they want to like spice up how they like deliver and execute on like who gets selected for each award, especially the major awards. And apparently one of the things that's being discussed and thrown around is basically the NHL doing their own version of Punk'd and pranking whoever wins these awards. And then at the very end of the prank being like, oh, by the way, the reason that we like pulled this awesome prank on you is because you won the Hart Trophy. I don't know where to go with that. I just figured I'd throw that in your court and see what that sparks. Seems ridiculous, but I'm not mad.
I mean, it's impossible for the award show to become any more painful to watch than it already is. Like, every year there's like 5 minutes of like something good or cool, and usually it's like an emotion, like it's actually like sad, something like or whatever, but like it's a cool story, but it's like literally 5 minutes of the fucking however long it is, like 2 hours, where it is just painful. They had the fucking magician that fucked up the magic trick when Kopitar won the Selkie a couple years ago. Still top 5 favorite moment, which the cards were just not correctly laid out. It was so funny that he didn't.
I think my favorite's still just the entire Tampa team.
That was great.
About the joke.
Yeah, Keenan Thompson was just ripping them, and they were just not, shockingly, not finding it funny. I am trying to figure out in my head what this would even entail. Like, would it be like?
So, an example that was given by Elliot, like not one that was given to him, but he's like, could you imagine if? and it was, could you imagine if they had McDavid call Draisaitl and tell him that he's not going to extend with Edmonton? And then at the end, oh, I'm just kidding, but also you won the Hart Trophy, and I already signed my extension. That could be fun. They also said Nathan McKinnon will probably like beat the wheels off someone for trying to prank him. So there's that risk.
That's the thing. So many of these guys that be winning awards are just like
not fun.
I mean, listen, I'm down for them to try anything different that might be fun. This could be like comically painful, like because I'm just imagining the one good thing is like NHL players are very good at pranks.
Yeah.
Like this could actually be
pranks everyone.
I was
Fleury starts a reality show.
This is a new division in the NHL. President Marc-Andre Fleury, the punk, whatever you want to call it. He's running all the pranks. He's head of the board, and all of them had to go through him. Whatever, maybe moving forward. Like as long as it's Fleury, then it's probably going to be good. Except his pranks are just like kind of like in the moment, like really just being a pain in the ass, like fucking tying or like taping like the sleeves and shit. But, like, oh my god, yeah, nope. I was wondering if that was gonna count.
Jesus,
yeah, have Fleury come up with all the ideas. I'm just imagining the NHL
just sit down and like make an entire plot for a season of what would it be if not punked though? Like, what would you call it? Flowered.
I'm just imagining like if the NHL, if it was them coming up with the pranks and like these ideas, they would be like the McDavid phone call to drive. That would be like the peak of their. They'll be like, it's like that's the only idea we have. For it's like that's just the phone call every time. That's every fucking prank. It's one guy calling this. I'm not trying. Just kidding. Gotcha. Congrats on whatever award. I'm like, okay. Oh, this is fucking stupid. So anyways, long story short, I'm down for them to try whatever. Depending on who's coming up with the ideas, sure, go for it. NHL guys are really good at pranks and stuff. So it would be funny if it was Biz and Marc-Andre Fleury doing it. That might work. I'm just excited to see what fucking stupid idea that they come up with this year. That's always something dumb that they're like, this was cool 10 years ago, or this was something that was a thing 10 years ago. And like, they're even going further back now. If they're bringing up punked, they're going like, what about 20 years ago? Actually, it's like, okay, great, cool. So it sounds something like the NHL would try. Whatever, dude, fuck it. The NHL awards ceremony thing already sucks, painful, tough to watch. Keep throwing ideas out there. I'm not going to shut them down.
If you win an award, you get to have your ride pimped out.
Oh my god.
All right. Yeah, we can move past this. Other fun NHL topics, though. This one's a stretch. Bear with me, because I'm not at all advocating for anything political, but instead of having MAGA hats, we get an AGFA hat. AGFA. Allow goalie fights again.
It's a serious problem. I can't believe how
we could sell a shit ton of those hats.
Like, what are they doing? I don't understand why these fucking refs keep stopping goalie fights. When I say keep, it happens at least like 2 or 3 times a year, where it's like specifically. Because this is having to do with what we'll talk about next with Jeremy Swayman, who's been trying to fight for 2 years now. He wants to fight someone so bad. Same with Fleury. But like the past 5 or 6 years between Swayman and Tuukka tried to fight a bunch of times, and just the refs stopped it every fucking time. I don't know what it is, but they're just not. It's just so annoying. Where it's like, let him go. Who cares? Like usually. They try to not let 2 fights be going on at the same time or whatever, because whatever, those guys get kicked out. But if there's no other fight going on, both guys want to go. They're like taking and it's also goalies, which it takes them fucking forever to take their fucking shit off. And then the ref's like, no, we're gonna stop this. And like all 4 refs are like getting involved. It's like, what are you doing? I don't get it. And these refs need to fuck off. Let them go. If they want to, like, who cares? I just like there's no rationale for stopping it.
Yeah. So Kuemper and Swayman try to go. Then post game, did you see the reaction from Zadorov? Like, what's your take there?
I have no idea. So, like, I've said this about Zadorov 2 weeks ago, maybe, like when we had 2 games post deadline of fun Bruins hockey. They are astonishingly horrendous right now. Like, they might be the worst hockey team on the planet right
Russo's
now.
comment.
I knew.
I
was
don't know
like,
how many views it got, but it's breaking records, I'm sure.
My fucking mentions are the second I saw, I was like, God damn it. Like, literally, I saw Michael Russo replied, and then I looked out of my phone like half a second later, and it was like, I was like, oh no, I'm getting a million fucking replies of people just so fucking angry about the Hughes and Zadorov thing on both sides of the argument. Yeah. It's insane. But like, yeah, no, but Zadorov is, the one thing about him is, even if he's had largely a very poor first year in Boston, but like, he takes questions from the media every fucking game, and he is not a player who like tries to like give you a bullshit answer. Like, if he's angry, which is most of the time, he doesn't, like, he'll just openly say it. Like, he's not gonna give you like, oh yeah, no, that was good. And I don't know if I couldn't tell. I watched the video today too, but like, what was the exact quote? It was like, where the guys appreciate Swayman trying to step up for who's the Zadorov, and Zadorov is just like, is that what that was?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. No comment. He's never said no comment before. So it's like, I don't know if this is the whole team being annoyed with Swayman this year, or if it's him just pissed off about losing another game where they look so bad. I have a feeling it's the latter. But like, of course, now this has sparked more fucking drama. It's like, well, at least they're interesting off the ice, I guess, now. But it was a weird reaction where he just like rolled his eyes. So it was just like, yeah, I don't know, whatever, no comment, good for him. I was like, oh fuck, god damn it, dude. But I really do think it was him just being so fucking pissed off, because the last couple of losses that they've had, like, they're putting up, like, they went between the second and third period, I think they had 5 shot attempts, and like the game before that, they didn't have a shot on goal in the second period against the fucking like Sharks. No, the third period, I can't remember which period. But they've gone several games where they'll go period with either 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 shots, or attempts in general. Like, they look so fucking bad. And like, they'll score a goal and immediately give one up, or they've given up 27 goals in the final minute of a period this year. Like, it's out of control. Yeah. Like, Ty, who covers the Bruins for the Sports Hub here, he has an ongoing note on his phone of games and dates where they've allowed a goal in the last minute of a period, and where I think we might be at 30 now. Like, it's unbelievable. They can't do anything. But like, all that said, I do think it was more of Zadorov just being so fucking frustrated with the fact they got the shit kicked out of them again. And it's just been like, the last 10 games have been so bad. It's at the point now where they're closer to being like, they're closer to like the Sabres than they are like the playoffs. Like, that's where they're at right now,
which is crazy in itself. So who's more on tilt, Zadorov or Sheldon Keefe?
That was great too. I don't like, Keefe has these moments, like, and it was interesting. So this is in reference to his comment about Kovacevic. What, like, all Kovacevic said after the game was like, we need to buckle down and play harder or whatever. And they, like, fucking media is talking to Keefe after, like, either the next day. I don't think it was the same game. Like, or I don't think it was the same day, because it was Kovacevic gave the answer in the locker room, and then it was like a presser with Keefe. And Keefe just like, they're like, yeah, Kovacevic says the guys just need to buckle down, play hard, whatever. Keefe just goes, yeah, well, Kovacevic just needs to play better. That'd probably help. All right, thanks. And left. I was like, what the fuck, man? That was such a benign comment from Kovacevic. It was unbelievable. And of course, Kovacevic's just like, yeah, I don't know. They asked him about, was it today or yesterday again? And he was like, yeah, I don't know. I've seen Torts do like way worse, so it's fine. But like, that would, to be like, is that a wake up? Is that supposed to serve as like a wake up call? Because I think to literally everyone else, it's like this guy's just being a dick right now for no reason. Like there was an unwarranted like shot, and like he just sounded bitchy. Like it was so fucking weird.
Do you think though that like that had nothing to do with who it was? They could have said like that Hischier said it, and he'd be like, "Well, you know what? If Hischier could play a little bit better, that'd be great." Like he just like was at the end of his presser, was pissed off, wanted to get out of there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this player said that you know these guys need to be playing playoff hockey." He's like, "Yeah, well, fuck that guy, I'm out." Like that's pretty much it, right?
It's so funny. I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Like he had to have gone to Kovacevic right away, or like texted him immediately after he walked off. He's like, "By the way, it's gonna seem like I took a shot at you. I'm sorry. I just had to get out of there." Like I don't know. Either that or Kovacevic won't play next game, and we'll know why.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh man,
weird he is weird. Keefe just has his temper sometimes. It's just fucking weird.
As far as the battles, though, over the weekend, the one that was most interesting to me was JT Miller taking just like a stray, like random after the whistle, like brush hit on Quinn Hughes with the most serious fucking look on his face I've ever seen. I mean, it all but confirms what we've already been told, but maybe way more involvement than we thought. That like Hughes absolutely took Pettersson's side and said, "Get Miller the hell out of here."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like that's like JT Miller though. The same, like he's always been like that. Like I remember the first few games they played Tampa, he was running everyone when he got moved to Vancouver. Like that is just kind of like how he has always played.
But that's not running him. That's like after the whistle, just giving it like
I know.
Hit him hard. It was a nudge. It was just like,
hey, fuck you,
buddy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like obviously, given the fact that there was all that drama there this year, it was such a shit show. That's what immediately comes to mind. I don't know. Like, I kind of just like rolled my eyes. I was like, all right, dude. Like, cool.
I loved it.
Yeah, I was like, this is great.
I'm also a JT Miller guy, so.
Right. Yeah. Again, I think that's just like how he approached that. I'm sure he was fucking. I mean, he was getting like. It was weird because it felt like the whole room, based on like the comments and everything, like the players all were siding with like Pettersson, but the fans were like, "No, we want JT Miller, fuck Pettersson." And obviously JT Miller's one that gets shipped out, but I don't know, man. I think he's just like wired different than all those like younger skill guys there, anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Fair. Then we got to talk about Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith basically taking over the NHL. Every couple of days, these guys are popping up with something new that they've done that's like funny or exciting. Like obviously we heard about the whole like Toffoli thing, right? Have you seen any other stuff that's popped up with them recently? Like simple shit like the jersey bet for the Hockey East tournament, like getting Will Smith wearing the BU jersey, which was, I don't know, I'm sure, like, I don't remember. You're BC or BU?
I'm more BC probably.
Okay, so it's gross for you, but you don't seem to care at all. But the one that was really fun was they had a video of them like doing the whole soccer warm-up thing. And Celebrini kicks it over to Smith, and Smith just rips it, smokes the Sharks mascot in the face. And then the Sharks mascot like makes a whole like thing in a post of like the outline sketch of his body being like, "This is where I was murdered." But like literally smokes him in the face.
That rocks. They are just like just two peas in a pod. And it's just very funny.
It's so weird that they were like two of the Frozen Four teams, like very much rivals. And then they go to the NHL. It's like, yeah, we're best friends now.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially like BC, BU, all that shit. Canada, USA.
Like, I don't think you would ever see like a Gopher and a North Dakota player go to an NHL team together and immediately be like best friends.
Yeah.
I can't picture it.
I still do. It's so different now though. Like, I mean, Not necessarily, I guess, with those two, because obviously, like Will Smith's USA, Celebrini's Team Canada. So it's so crazy how many of these guys who like either played college on like rivalry teams, if they're both American, like they've been playing together though since they were like 10, like all the USA youth teams and shit. Like it's funny now just seeing like how often that does happen. But I mean, those two are obviously different. But it like Mateo just put it in the comments. It is unbelievable how different the vibes in Chicago versus San Jose are. Like San Jose, obviously, like they're not a great hockey team. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a lottery team again. They're towards the bottom of the standings. But like, there's been so much positivity though, just because like how many of those young guys are playing so unbelievably well. You have guys like Toffoli in there who are, like we said last week, doing exactly what they hoped he would do as far as like bringing a veteran who could score and play alongside them and stuff. And there's like a path for them. Chicago is just a complete shit show. Like Bedard looks fucking miserable. And like, I mean, I think now fucking Hudson has more points than Bedard, I think. Which is crazy in Montreal. Like,
how about the craziest stat? Who leads the Chicago Blackhawks in goals?
I actually don't. Is it Foligno?
It's Ryan Donato.
Oh, it is Donato. That's right. Yeah. They were.
By the way, we need to put positivity on his name. He got done dirty here in Minnesota, but that's beside the point. Just imagine, though, like we all were very scared that Celebrini was going to go to Chicago. What if all these positive vibes are over there? Like that would really suck. Also, if I never checked the standings and like was not aware of the fact that both these teams are dog shit, you would never have me convinced that Chicago and San Jose are like neck and neck at the bottom of the league. Like there's no way. San Jose is at least 15 points ahead of Chicago.
Right. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, the vibe shift is just dread. And again, it's just funny. Last year, they were like too bad for Mike Greer at the beginning of the year. Like the point where, like, after 20 games, he had a fucking GM meeting with the players. Was like, bro, you fucking made this team. Like, what are you yelling at us for? Like, this is crazy. But like since then, it's just been obviously how it's gone is just worlds apart. So good for them doing it right.
And a note from Mateo, of course, since Four Nations, who leads the league in points? Sidney Crosby, which why wouldn't he when they're like in a perfect position to get a top 5 pick in the draft? It's just absolute. You just knew it would happen.
He can't help himself, dude. In like, I think after two, they won like 4 or 5 in a row. Like they were like playing against like other really
beating
good
teams that are like fighting for playoff spots. Like back to back, it was St. Louis and Minnesota. It's like what are we doing here? I have nothing more to say on that other than Sid's awesome. People think he sucks, and I'm disappointed that the Penguins are doing good. And I think it's the first time in my life I've ever felt that way. So weird tables turned thing. Anything else you want to touch on NHL wide, Z, before we get into more Minnesota and college stuff?
I don't think so, other than the fact that like another thing I was very wrong about was Montreal. Oh my god, like they are in a really good position to potentially, like they're in that second wild card spot now. They have 2 games in hand on the Rangers. What Cole Hudson's doing, or Lane Hudson, I'm going to do that every fucking time.
Dude, Cole Hudson might be better at this point. I'm convinced. I don't know.
That's
where I was wrong. I was so wrong about Cole Hudson.
Well, Lane Hudson is just ripping apart.
Yeah.
He's like leading rookie scoring. He's got like 60 points now. He's like top 4 or 5 defenseman rookies in points ever. Like he passed Ray Bork. Like that's crazy. It's just unbelievable what he's doing. But they're in like those games now. Like, listen, I fucking hate Montreal. I always will. But you're never gonna hear me talk shit about the Bell Center when that place is like when it's big games or if it's playoff time. That building is fucking insane. The way the seating they have, like the elevated like seats or whatever. So they are just on top of the players. That barn is rocking right now. So it's crazy to think that they actually could do it. And like again, they're in a good position right now to potentially make the playoffs. Like Columbus has fallen off here. They're 2-7, won their last 10. I don't believe in the fucking Islanders. The Rangers stink. Like, Detroit bought, like, there's a pretty good chance that both Ottawa and Montreal make the playoffs.
Yeah, I like that. Well, before we kick over to Minnesota Wild topics, quick little promo teaser from this week's episode of Fellowship of the Rink, where we bring on Ryan Carter as a guest on the show.
Beauty.
We usually open with like an obscure question, loosen up guests, whatever. Same one every time. But we've actually got a fan question we got to open with here today. Loyal listener Spoke Z wants to know the secrets to maintaining a perfect head of hair, not a single strand of hair out of place.
Yeah, our buddy Spoke, he's pretty good at tagging me on Twitter or wherever else it is and letting me know that he enjoys the hairstyle of the day. I actually think it started when I had the mullet. And yeah. I think that just was, I wasn't getting a haircut during COVID and the hair got long. And it's like, man, you work through or you live through like that awkward length of hair where it's like you can't do anything with it and you get to a spot where it's longer and now you can maybe do something with it. It's hard to just all of a sudden cut it off. So I was like, I got to save some of this. So left the part in the back. Spoke Z caught his attention, but I don't know. My hair's not really versatile. It's rather straight actually, and it's not easily trained either. So good thing is where it falls now is where it stays. But yeah, the other secret, oddly, I'll catch some heat for this. The product that I use in my hair is just hand lotion. I don't use anything else. So like I'll get out of the shower and yeah, it's just whatever's around. It's like I put it on my hands and I'll put it in my hair and then boom. And that started in my playing days because if I would have like gel or hairspray, it would like go on the front of your helmet and then it would run down your face from time to time. So I was like, this is terrible. I'd rather just have, and lotion was already like on my face or on my hands or whatever. So it was like, this works. So that's kind of how it started.
I love this guy. What a beauty, dude. Hand lotion is insane. Holy fuck, that's unbelievable. What a beauty. Yeah, fuck.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I feel like you are not gonna believe this, and you were correct.
I was shocked when he said it.
That's incredible. She's like, I'm gonna catch heat for this. Yeah. Whatever works.
Yeah.
Such a beauty. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, he rocks. So Minnesota Wild, things are somewhat positive of late. Like at least we're winning games, but if you went on X, the everything platform, you probably wouldn't understand that things are going well because no one seems to act that way.
Yeah, I mean, 6-3-1 their last 10. It's very fun in the last few games that they've scored 3 goals very quickly, and then they just don't score again until the end of the game with the empty netter. It's like, we're going to get all the offense out of the way real early. And they were just going to muck it up for a little bit. PK is still going to be, like, pretty shitty. But, like, this, it is still, I mean, like, we could talk about this every week, and it will only become more and more, like, applicable. This injury shit is unbelievable. I actually cannot believe that, like, it started pretty early on in the year where just a couple of very important players went down, and at no point has it got any better. It's just like randomly these other just injuries are coming up out of nowhere. Guys are getting sick. Like, it's insane to me, like, how many games so many of these players have missed. And I was worried about Marco Rossi, obviously taking that shot off the inside of his knee. Ironman streak continues, though. Doesn't miss a game. Comes back, scores. It's crazy. The guys don't get it. But, like, again, the fact that they're still, what are they? What's their overall record? They've won 40 of 70 games this year. Again, the last 10, they're 6-3-1. Couple home wins, thank God. They're now above 500 at home, which is always nice. But yeah, I mean, realistically, especially when you consider how many very important players have been missing for this long. And at one point, the offense, or I mean, even still, like the last few games has been better, but the offense is just anemic. Like, they get almost nothing so often. It is unbelievably impressive that they are maintaining like a 600 point percentage. Like, it's crazy. And I think this is on the outline. Filip Gustavsson. What a fucking find he was a couple of years ago. Like, he's just put them on his back so many games, even games where they weren't scoring. Like, he was keeping them in a lot of those times too. So he's been unbelievable.
How many fans have falsely claimed that they were like through and through Gus backers? Like, had to have been a minimum 83% of fans that wanted him absolutely gone, which he almost was, weirdly enough, with a trade that would have pretty much ruined our season. So glad that didn't go through. But everyone needs to just apologize to Filip Gustavsson, who right next to Faber, our best player.
From start to finish, yeah. I mean, like, it's crazy. But and like a lot of games hasn't been great, but like especially lately, we have to appreciate some of these plays that John Merrill's made lately. Like, he had a big time like save off. That was a ridiculous save off the line the other day. But he's been fine. And like there's been a bunch of games where he's been like solid. He is one of those players. If you don't notice it, that means he's probably playing well. But like, I'll tell you, at no point am I feeling great when him and Bogosian are on the ice together. Like, if there's like an extended shift where like they just get hemmed in, I'm like, oh fuck. But Merrill has been fine. He's done his job lately. But I mean, yeah, Filip Gustavsson has been one of, if not the main reason that despite all these injuries, that they're still, again, in the last 10, 6-3-1 and playing relatively well. But the offense is always going to be a concern, though. Like, as Kirill continues to be out, Eriksson, I mean, even like Foligno's missing a couple games now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. The offense is just going to be a problem, it seems like, unless they can get healthy.
If we get healthy. Well, let's talk about I guess the darkest timeline in the room. Joe and Russo have all come out and said that Rossi's gone. Like,
I don't get it. I saw that someone mentioned that on the latest podcast. Russo said something about like it's like an 80% chance.
So I think Joe said like 70% he's gone, 30% he stays, which like Joe's gonna sugarcoat. Russo replied because someone like threw it on to Russo's show and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Joe says 70% chance Rossi's gone. What are your thoughts?" And he's like, "I think that's conservative. I think it's more likely than that he's gone." It's like, Jesus Christ. So we're back to it, like starting next week. Maybe we'll have to come up with a new trade hypothetical every week to try and help ourselves like cope with the fact that one of our favorite players is probably gone. The easy one to go to, because it's all that Russo seems to want to talk about, is JJ Peterka. Why not reunite Marco Rossi with his boy Jack Quinn?
I just like, I don't like, it just makes no sense to me unless they really just, I mean, well, clearly they,
well, the reason is apparently they're very, very far apart in what his value is. I don't know what those numbers are, but that's all Russo would say is like they are very far apart with contract offer. So that's why. Well,
I mean, yeah. Well, if it is like they are just like it's too much of a gap to bridge, like then fine, I get it. But at the same time, like the fact that you're potentially going to move on the first time you get a top 10 pick that you take on a center, and then the first 2 years that he pops off, he's now surpassed his goal total, assist total, and point total from last year. Is the one guy that stayed healthy, knock on wood, in your top 6 consistently. It's just, and he's super young. Like, it's crazy to me at that point. I guess, I mean, we'll see what that trade would even look like. I love JJ Peterka. At the same time, like, do you look at like the wings that they have in their top 6? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It also tells me like if you trade him, then you really are banking on like Yurov and Eriksson Ek being your top 2 centers next year.
I do think that the original plan was they were going for Cousins. And how do you pass up what Ottawa?
I mean, what a fucking trade.
Weird. If there was actually something in the works for Rossi and a Cousins swap, I don't know why Buffalo did what they did. That's insane to me. And Cole, to your point, I'm pretty sure Rossi is the only jersey that I've had that anyone else has been on board with. Like, people pretty much shit on Pitlick and on Addison relentlessly. So most fans probably appreciate my jersey curse. But yes, with Rossi in particular, I apologize for when it ultimately happens. Sad. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Cosgrove, no. Foligno's out.
No, I think I mentioned earlier that because I think I saw he had missed practice or something. I don't know if he was sick or if he actually got. I couldn't remember, but I remember just seeing that he had missed a practice or 2. I mean, it is just like the timing of this is crazy to me. Well, I mean, the whole situation with Rossi, all but seemingly out the door. I mean, I'm like very curious as to like what he's asking for. Did they say that he was asking for like 8+?
I'm sure he is, but I also imagine that the Wild are sandbagging hard.
Right. Oh yeah, and like I understand being cautious about like going like 8x8 on Rossi.
Here's the real benchmark. Do you give him more than Boldy?
Right. Yeah, probably not.
Which there's a reasonable argument to be made by Rossi's camp that he deserves more based on like, obviously this is several years later, right? Like the cap's in a different place. The salary cap is way up. I get it, but it's also like, is that where you want to allocate your funds? It's like if he's coming in and asking for like 8.5, 9 million, like, okay, yeah, trade him, Bill. Just make sure you get a reasonable return. But
I do wonder what they would be targeting in that trade too. Like
Rossi plus for Tage Thompson. I mean, not sure. What's the plus? But interested. Although, does he even want to play here? Bill Guerin didn't bring him to Four Nations.
Yeah, true.
Could you see that being like a negotiating tactic though for like this summer when Brock Nelson is up for a contract? He's like, dude, come here on a deal and I'll bring you to Italy. Sign in Colorado and there's no shot in hell you're on this roster.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, again, like I do understand the Wild not really wanting to go over Boldy's number. At the same time, it's just like you've been looking for that top 6 center that can produce, stay healthy at his age. So it's like a shitty time, obviously. Now, if like they are at the point now where it's like this, we're not even remotely close on a contract, and he's only wanting to go long term, he's not going to bridge, then obviously, like at that point, you have to, especially when his value is about like pretty close to being as high as you think it might get.
He probably doesn't want to bridge.
Right. So I mean, at that point, if you have to make that move, then you do it. And again, you're going to be making that move when his value is super high. But I just wonder what pieces would they be looking to bring back? You know, like I can't imagine there's too many futures related pieces that they would really want. I mean, you have like a pool of players that are coming in. Like there's a good number of guys that be vying for spots next year that aren't even available already. So maybe you do. I don't even know. Like, let's think about this. It's like a shitty scenario where it's like this is Rossi's the one piece that's like I'm like that's the guy I want here next year. Like,
right.
Perfect age, favorite position. He's producing like.
So I threw out the idea of Buffalo liking to bring Marco Rossi in to play with Jack Quinn. Where did they play together?
Ottawa.
Where's the guy that the Wild wanted to trade for him? Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
You could maybe make something work there. It's not going to happen.
No. I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
I really wanted Dylan Cousins. I thought that was going to be a thing.
It really is crazy that this,
no, Cole, not Brady Tkachuk.
Assigned ourselves to like just accepting that they're going to move him. It's crazy. Like it really is.
You know what? Like, I'm just accepting it. If it's reached the point where like Russo and Joe are convinced, there's a reason.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah.
I don't want to believe it. And yeah, I guess anyone that hates a player on the Wild, I'll have to give you my address and you can send me whatever jerseys you like. I will do my best.
Yeah. And I mean, if I'm going to like take my bias out of it, because again, like love Marco Rossi, loved them before they drafted him, was like ecstatic when like Buffalo was picking like from the Ottawa 67s, and I was like, fuck. And then they said Jack Quinn. I was like, yes. And then ended up Minnesota. I do understand from their standpoint, like Marco Rossi's overall profile as a player, the fact that like undersized center, not the greatest skater in the world, not the most fleet of foot, like he doesn't scream like point per game player when you like just watch him play. At the same time, like he's now got 22 goals and however many assists. He does profile to me more so as like 60, 70 points. So like just under a point per game. So it's probably like a 2C on a really good team. Yeah. And is he necessarily driving offense? I don't know. So I do understand that point where he's like, I want like first line center money. And they're like, okay, we can't really do that. So I do get it. It's just like, again, my big question is just going to be, what are the pieces that they're going to be targeting? And like, I'd like, because if you're looking at it like it has to be a scenario where you make a move and it fixes your first line center problems for good. Like I don't even know. You're adding pieces at that point. Yeah. And again, like especially now with like the who's gonna be available in free agency and like nervous about like just throwing Brock Nelson a crazy deal. That makes me nervous. And like it also just makes me nervous banking on Yarov and Eriksson being your 1 and 2C next year. Like I don't think that's realistic.
Right.
So I just wonder like what this framework of this deal is going to look like. It could be like a fucking whopper, or it could be like a nothing burger where they just go for picks. I have no idea.
Which would suck. I also feel like Guerin's not willing to do that unless those picks are subsequently going to be flipped for something else. But
right, yeah.
Let's go alternate universe and like really just get Wild fans upset. Let's say that draft went the way we expected. And when you heard Ottawa 67s, the Buffalo Sabres did select Marco Rossi. The next 3 centers drafted at 10, Winnipeg Jets take Cole Perfetti. At 12, the Florida Panthers take Anton Lundell. And at 13, the Carolina Hurricanes select Seth Jarvis. Pretty sure we would have had one of those 3 names. Are we happier if that's the case? I mean, one of them is a surefire, like, yeah, you'd rather have him. The other 2, I think, are debatable.
Mm-hmm.
There's also debate around how good would Seth Jarvis be if he was with the Wild, but...
Well, yeah, you could say that about all 3 of them. Like, because even like a guy like Lundell really benefits playing in Florida too.
For sure.
And he's such a fucking perfect fit on his line and just in that team in general.
Yeah.
Where he can kind of play the style that the Panthers like to play, where it's just like I don't even call it north-south. It's north and sometimes south. It's just they are fucking playing downhill for fucking 60 minutes half the games. But he's so fucking good, like just as a two-way centerman. And the fact that like when he stepped in, he could pretty much like really develop his offense and his skill while not sacrificing anything going the other way. Like it's an incredible situation for him too. Like again, like he's a very different Like, I don't know how that would even look here in Minnesota. Who knows? Probably. I mean, he's still nasty. He'd probably still be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could say that about all those players. Like Perfetti, like took off like second half last year, and this year he's played really well again.
He also wears a wire.
Yeah, he's a narc. So, I don't know, man. Like, it's so weird to. It's just like we finally got like just the fucking top 6 center who's producing that we've been waiting for, and here we are. But I don't know, man. That's gonna suck when that happens, unless they really pull it off. I mean, like, fuck it, like, want to make something happen somehow, get like Barzal over here, you know, like get someone like, you know, like if you're really going out to like solve that first line center problem. I mean,
there's a world where you trade for Sidney Crosby, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Except there's not.
Well, we talked about that Malkin thing before. Like, imagine, dude. It'd be crazy.
Fans would lose their freaking minds, and I would be like the only person excited.
It would be insane. But I don't know. It just fucking really sucks that it's like, it's not just it might happen. It's like it's not even a probably. It's like when Russo and Joe are both like resigned to the fact that it's happening. It's just like, God damn it. How do we get here? It sucks. But I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah, that or like Bill Guerin is just like pissed off at Russo for some reason. And he's already got the contract worked out with Rossi. And he's like, yeah, fuck you. But no, probably. All right. Move on to prospects then. Isha Jerome. We're going to take away all of the Ryan Carter hair product from you. And Stevie Leskovar has signed his entry-level deal. And people are already upset that he isn't like a true NHLer. And why did we draft him in the 6th? We should have taken a swing on a high upside guy.
That can't be real.
Oh, yeah. That happened on Twitter. Plenty?
Like, how? Really? I can't imagine getting upset about this. This literally.
I also can't imagine getting upset about Boldy making an incredible play, but here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, I mean, like, so Stevie Leskovar, actually, like the last couple of weeks, honestly, I've been watching Brampton a lot because they started playing really well. Obviously, they have Porter Martone, so it's just a good team to watch. He's played like really well. He's put up a couple points, which again, a couple is like 5 or 6 recently. Super physical, plays hard, and like I remember when they drafted like the first few weeks where it's like when he's just like he's capable of making plays, moving pucks, like defending well enough. Like he's a fine player. He's just like just running around like a lunatic. But I mean, like I don't know how much I'm trusting the WHL, the OHL websites lately, because the other game, what was this? I guess it was yesterday. They beat Kingston 4-1. He was Dashwell with 2 shots on goal, and he was first star of the game, which is crazy stat line to get first star. But in all seriousness, like the last little while, he's played really well with Brampton. They're on a roll right now. They won all 3 games this past week, including like a 6-1 win over Peterborough, 7-2 over Brantford. Brantford's got this kid, Jake O'Brien, who's probably going to go pretty high in this draft. He's lighting it up, but and Leskovar was on the ice against him quite often. But I mean, like, yeah, they're going to sign him because this is his last year he can play junior hockey. So like he has to go pro or not play next year. Like, so he's probably going to be the ECHL, AHL. Like I could not imagine being upset about this. And also, like, people said they should have taken a swing. He's taking a 7th round. Is he a 7th round? Or was it 5th or a 6th?
I think.
Yeah. So, like, what are we talking about? Fucking take a swing. Like, it's crazy that anyone said that. That's fucking nuts.
Direct quote.
It's incredible. That's actually one of the more unhinged things to get upset about. But whatever. Who cares?
A pretty unhinged player. But
Look at I remember when I was like, wait until you see this fucking roster photo. It was like a podcast we did like a month ago, 2 months ago, and their live reaction was fucking nuts. Look at him, dude. Let's look at an ex-murderer.
And a future murderer.
Yeah. Long career.
Yeah, I didn't realize how overaged he was.
No, yeah, he's like a double or triple overager. But either way, he's played really well last few weeks when I've watched Brampton, and they've been a fun team to watch because they're putting up tons of goals. And just Porter Martone's a very fun player to watch.
Yeah, I don't know why. So I'm looking at his weight, 207, and Talon was on Spit and Chicklets recently, and he said that Buff's weight when he came to training camp was 282.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Dude, there's some insane stories about Big Buff. Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously his whole career, but early on in Chicago when they were like giving him shit about his weight, and then like either like one of the AGMs was at like a baseball game in Chicago, and they look over and Buff's just like he's double fisting two meat sandwiches that he's just going down there like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like beers in his back pocket. Like, oh my God, he's a menace. Then he won a cup, so who cares? As a forward. That's the other thing too. He was 280. He was a forward. When they drafted him, which is so funny.
Yeah.
The legend. I love that he's just living his best life now. It's fishing, packing absolute hammers. And just continue to fish, and like maybe every once in a while playing some like fucking beauty league.
Him in the off season though, so I ran into him at Chipotle. He was not only bigger than I could have imagined, but like he got 2 like double packed burritos, and there ain't a fucking chance that one of those was for later. Like those were both being taken down in the same sitting. And I straight up I just tried to say hi to him quick. He could not have booked it out of there faster.
That motherfucker has.
He's like, you recognize me? Fuck. Gone.
That's bad. That's bad news.
I've never seen him move.
It's incredible. I love him. God damn it.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
See, Leskovar signs.
So let's talk then. What should have been a really cool experience for Buium and Lorenz that turned out to be not so awesome. Western Michigan. What a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, insane game. And like
that Buium goal. Whew.
Yeah, well, that was like the first game where it's like Buium does that, scores a ridiculous fucking goal. He had one of, if not the toughest night I've seen him play in college hockey, where I think he was on the ice for all 4 goals, took a penalty in overtime, again, scored that ridiculous goal. And like, and it's interesting when you listen to like David Carl talk about Buium, it's like the one thing that they always have to work on with is just like calming down, really. It's like a mental thing with him where it's just like he wants to make plays every single time he touches the puck. He wants the puck the whole time he's on the ice. Like I think there was a quote from David Carl being like, you gotta stop like beaver deathing like angrily whenever you want the fucking puck, which is also like very funny. He's like, why is no one passing the fucking puck right now? Which I fucking love that. So whatever. But yeah, I mean, it was a tough game for him, but like outside of that, dude, I've been saying Western Michigan this whole year, like they are a scary team. And I forget which fucking he's one of the, is he leading the country in goals? But the Wild potentially, people are wondering if the Wild are interested in signing that free agent out of there from Western Michigan. But like they are a scary team. Like I'm almost like sad they're getting a new barn because that one's so old and the fans are again like on top of you and they are fucking unhinged. They're a very fun team to watch. Like they score 1 million goals every fucking game and like they just play relentless hockey. And like if there was a team that was going to come back on Denver like that, Western Michigan is right at the top of that list where like every time I watch them play, it doesn't matter what the score is. It feels like they're just going to pull this off somehow, some way. So that is one team that I would be terrified of. Who they have? Mankato in the first round?
Yeah, we'll get into those more later, but yes, that is the opener.
Yeah.
And I don't think Buium and Lorenz had ever lost in the X prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
The only team that was going to come back and do this was the team that has Alex Bump, who the number of goals that he has scored at the X is pretty outrageous.
It's incredible. Yeah.
He single-handedly brought his team to the state tournament. It was pretty impressive a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's a sicko, and sorry, Vermont.
Yeah. Whoops.
But Buium and Lorenz, like how'd they look?
Yeah, I mean, like, so Lorenz has had a weird year where it's like last year he popped off, put up a ton of points, especially a ton of goals. This year the points haven't been there, but he's played really well. Sounds like he's planning on going back for his senior year, which, especially given how this year's gone, where it's like it seems when you just look at the stats, obviously it's a step back. Again, like when I watch him play, I still think he's like affecting the game. He's like especially this year, he's been like he's heavy on the PK. He's playing a lot of like whatever. He's in the neutral zone a lot. He's playing a lot of defensive hockey, so I think it makes sense for him to go back for senior, anyways. I think that's fine. And Buium, like outside of that last game against Western Michigan, he's just been a machine the last couple of weeks where he's playing like 30 minutes a night. Again, he's on their first PK unit. He's on the first power play unit. Like, and again, it's just with him, it is just like a mental thing where he has to calm down sometimes and stop trying to do too much. Like he's trying to do everything when he's out there, especially in these big games. Like that game against Western Michigan in the championship was just like it was noticeable where it was like he needs to like just slow down a little bit.
So
it'll be interesting because Denver's also they obviously started the year on fire, and then they lost a couple games right before the World Juniors, and they've watching them since the World Juniors, they'll have like 3 games where they like could just kick the shit out of someone. And yep, that's the Denver that we saw at the beginning of the year. But they've had a couple where it's just like they can't like buy a goal or they can't keep the puck to their own net. And they've been a little bit up and down. Like, so when I look at where they are for this first couple rounds here in the Frozen Four, they may be a little bit nervous. But it's going to be interesting because, like, let's say they go all the way. Was there one NHL game left before the playoffs? Like, assuming they make a long run again, I think there's like by the time the Frozen Four is up, there's one. So we'll see what happens with Buium because he's going to sign whenever they're done.
Yeah.
But potentially, like it's going to be like 1 or 2 games. I saw someone. Can't remember if it was just like when we were talking about Buium last week or 2 weeks ago or something. But they were like, "Why burn a year off the ELC for a couple games?"
Yeah,
like, that's what they're good. They like
because if you don't, he'll go back.
Yeah,
like that's just how it works.
No point. Yeah. So either way, he's gonna sign, but it'll be interesting to see. Just like because again, I do think he just gives you when we talk about this fucking with Minnesota, it's like this offense is so anemic so often. Like he is potentially in a position where he can actually chip in offensively and give you something from their back end. And it was interesting listening to Russo. I can't remember if it was like an article or him, maybe it was Joe. I don't even know, but it sounds like Buium watches almost every fucking game that like the Wild play when he's not playing. Like he is very invested. So clearly, like I think he said like, "Oh, I'm not really trying to focus on that right now," but clearly he is. Obviously. So we'll see what happens with Denver here. But like I do think there's a legit chance, depending on how like Hines wants to play it, like he come in here and actually just chip in a little bit of offense in the back end. And given the injuries and like the uncertainty of when guys are coming back, that could go a long way for Minnesota. So like he may be able to just like chip in more and be more of a factor than we would probably expect. So we'll see.
Yep. And Lorenz, we had him on just about a week ago now, and he'll be dropping next week on fellowship. But yeah, he pretty much like flat out said like, "Oh no, I'm going back." Like
I think it's the right. It
is no for sure.
So,
what about our boy, Big Ten champion? Started from the bottom. Now he's here, Charlie Stramel.
What a year overall, but Great pass.
He's like
Howard
getting
in that
ignored
double,
largely for his impact on that team too, like from a national scale. Like no one besides Wild fans, like no one really realizes or cares the impact he's really had on their team.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just see it more because so many of the people that I interact with are like actually follow and don't mute on Twitter or like the other scouting people or whatever. So like just watching his like career path the last 4 or 5 years has been fascinating overall. And again, I think we had mentioned earlier, it sounds like he'll probably go back for his senior year, I think. But I think Stramel even was like, I have no idea. But again, like I think if he wants to go and stay there, assuming that they are going to be good at like for the first time he has stability. He's first line center on that team, chipping in offense, making big time plays. Obviously, we got another guy that factor in all three zones, PK, power play. Like he is one of their go-to players, which is what we said at the beginning of the year that we wanted to see from him either way. So I think it makes sense for him to go back again. He's in a good situation again, like find some stability from like one year to the next. But what a fucking season he's had. And of course he provides that primary assist in overtime in the Big Ten championship. Great backhand feed. But just fucking happy for him. But yeah, just a monster year. I forgot that he had already surpassed his like goal total last 2 years combined.
Like a third of the way in, yeah.
Yeah, he had done that like weeks ago. It was like he had 9 goals this year, and between like his freshman and sophomore year at Wisconsin, he had 8. But it was a great situation again. Like obviously familiar with the coach is going to go a long way. So good for him though. What a monster season. On that Michigan State team, they're fun to watch too. Isaac Howard is just a beauty. He is a lunatic. He's so funny. And he is. Yeah, so he's top 5 in the country in points, maybe.
Do you think he should win the Hobie? Or is that Leonard's?
Feels like it might be Leonard's. I don't know. It feels like Leonard's gonna get it. Because what he's doing week in, week out with BC.
Let's be real.
Too.
Whoever goes further is gonna get it.
Yeah, that's how that.
Like hockey is
goes,
weird.
right?
Like hockey and lacrosse are like the sports where like the postseason absolutely contributes to how the voting goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that feels about right. Whoever goes the farthest.
Yeah.
But yeah. Big Ten champ, Charlie Stramel, good for him.
That's right. Anyone else we want to talk about here before we transition to Frozen 4? Regionals have been set.
Ready to go.
Giver. All right. Let's open it up here. First one, Manchester. We have the number 1 overall seed getting one of the 1 seeds. Boston College hosting something called Bentley, which I didn't know existed until this bracket came out. And we've got Providence against Denver, which could be one of the best opening round matchups.
There are a couple matchup like across the board. Like this first round's going to be, there are a couple of games that are going to be like very, very, very fun to watch. Bentley, another Boston team.
Really?
Yeah, they're at fucking Waltham. I can't remember where they are, but they're like right around here. But yeah, I mean, they've been like an up and coming team for a while now. They got a new sick rink, like small.
Are they like Union, where they're like a D3-esque school that has D1 hockey, or are they D2? Okay.
Yeah, most of their sports. Yeah, I think they beat Holy Cross in that championship. But either way, I would expect BC to handle business there. But that Providence Denver game, like that's what, like when I look at how Denver's gone lately, Providence is not a good matchup for them. Like the thing with Providence is like everyone expected someone like Trevor Connolly to come in and just rip it up. He's like not even their top 10 in scoring. They've got a bunch of guys who contribute like 10 goals, 20 points. Like none of their players are like, I don't think they have anyone that's a point per game. I should probably pull it up. Yeah, they just have even scoring throughout their lineup, and they've got Phil Svedeback, Bruins prospect, in net, and he is a machine. Like, they are not a fun team to play against because they can like give you a little bit of. They roll 4, they play hard, and like they've got a bunch of just like hardworking dogs that like you have to be able to match up, and like with how Denver's been like pretty reliant recently on their like top D and top 6 for scoring, they're gonna have their hands full with this Providence team. Like, they play relentless hockey. So that's gonna be really fun to watch in Manch Vegas. But Denver's gonna have their handful. So we'll see if they just decide to come alive, wake up, and just kick the shit out of them. We'll see. It's like Denver's done that before. But yeah, no, Providence Friars, Brandon Duhaime. Shout out Brandon Duhaime, ex Providence Friar. So that's gonna be a really good game, I think.
Who does BC want to face?
I think I was looking at it earlier. I think they've played Providence 2 times this year, 3 times. I'm sure BC, if you like gun to their head, they're like, yeah, give us Providence, just because they're pretty familiar with them overall, just as far as like
you don't want to exercise the demons.
Yeah, maybe though. Like, that's the thing. Well, I'm sure they would love to, obviously. Same time, like, if you're just looking for
right.
So I think they were. I should have pulled. I did have it up earlier. Actually, I was kind of curious to see what they're. Because I think they played them 2 or 3 times this year. I think one went to overtime, and I think BC won another one 4-1. So, but they're familiar with that team in general, more so than like Denver's, huh? But yeah, no, Denver's gonna have their hands full. That's gonna be a really fun game to watch. Because Providence also can get teams just stuck in the mud in that neutral zone. They're physical, like they throw their weight around. They're fun to watch, but they don't have one guy to like they lean on for offense. They're pretty like even throughout their whole lineup.
Who doesn't?
Providence, they're pretty even. Yeah. They get scored.
I thought you were saying that about Denver, and a lot of people have been getting upset. Like, no, Denver's got a couple of guys that pretty much do all of it, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Also, by the way, it is nuts that like Buium 2 years as a defenseman, he's got like 92 points, 95 points. That's insane. That's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah.
So who's coming out of Manchester?
I would say BC. Especially, they're going to be fucking really pissed off about this Hockey East tournament that just happened. The fact that the Hockey East final was Maine and UConn is crazy.
How much time off did they have?
Not much, because they lost. When was that game? Like a week. Should look it up. Come on.
So just like 2 weeks before they'll play this game?
Why would it freeze? Right, so they play Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be like a week and a half, 2 weeks. But we'll see.
All right, so BC advances for Manchester, and Zeev Buium joins the Minnesota Wild.
I think that's also a big. I'm like, I need it. It's fueling my decisions.
Next up, Toledo.
This is death.
This is, in my opinion, the worst one to be in. And granted, this is a year where I feel like maybe, I don't know if you disagree, I feel like most years there's like 1 or 2 regions and it's like, God, I wish I was in that region. This year, I don't feel like we have that. I feel like everyone except for that first matchup, BC and Bentley, like I feel like every other matchup, it's like, I could see either team winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this is like, and like when you look at these 4 teams, it's like you probably pick Cornell as obviously like the weakest of the 4, maybe, but they also have a bunch of guys that could score. They've always been like a super physical shutdown hockey team in general. So that's like a pain in the ass for a team like Michigan State to go up against. But Ohio State, I mean, like another year where it's like, I never know what I'm going to get from them, but every year they pull off a couple monster wins against top 5 teams. And like also, it's them and like Penn State. It's like those 2 teams specifically. It happens every time.
Transfer portal, all name team. They crushed it.
Yeah.
Say it.
I can't. I can't even read it. Like I can't. Like I just start dying.
Gunnar Wolf is just elite.
Gunnar Wolf Fontaine. Shout out. Gunnar Wolf Fontaine out of fucking Northeastern. Predators draft pick. Such a beauty.
Like, he'll probably be included in our all-name team discussion for the draft, even though he won't be drafted.
Just in perpetuity. Like, we're just going to have Gunnar Wolf Fontaine.
We should just have him join us for the all-name team evaluations every year because he's an expert. So talk me through this. Like, how do you see this bracket breaking out?
I just have this funny feeling that Ohio State's going to pull it off against BU. Like, BU's been so up and down this year. Like, they caught fire towards the end of the year, especially for sure. And, like, Cole Hudson's just been, like, doing his thing. Todd Vilander, too. He's been solid for BU. But Ohio State, I feel like they're just riding this high where, like, the last like couple weeks of the season, they were just pulling off these monster wins. I mean, we watched them kick the shit out of Minnesota one night, and then the next night Minnesota rocked them, right? Like, that's the thing with Ohio State. I never know what I'm going to get, but I just have this like nagging feel I can't shake where they're going to pull this off. So I kind of have a feeling it's going to be Ohio State and Michigan State, and then Michigan State takes it. I just have this. I think Michigan State, like, they just have so much going for them right now, and then Ohio State's riding the side. Again, like, BU's been. Like, they're going to need someone like Cole Hudson to really pop off again, which, I mean, he is more than capable of doing that. But like, even like, again, like in like the Hockey East tournament, like BU, I was just sitting there like, ugh, like I did not like what I was seeing. So I just had this suspicion that Ohio State's going to pull it off. Michigan State's going to beat Cornell in a tight game because that's what Cornell does. We said the same thing about them last year too.
There's still one voter that's putting them number one in the poll each week, I'm sure.
they can help themselves. Like, Cornell.
So if BU beats Ohio State, how do you think that matchup between them and Michigan State goes?
I actually like Michigan State a lot versus BU.
Okay. So you've got Michigan State no matter how it folds out.
I do have Michigan State coming out of this.
Yeah.
Again, my thing is I just have this I cannot get rid of this feeling about Ohio State pulling off against BU, especially like watching them like the last few weeks. In BU from start to finish this year. Like the beginning of the year, they were still like they were like top 10, but they were like just over 500 for a while. Like, I mean, they were going up against like BC, fucking like all the other top 5 teams in the country, but like a couple of games they're getting rocked at the beginning of the year. And I was like, they're keeping that fucking like top 10 rank because they're BU. It felt like. So I've just been like not as convinced with them versus Ohio State, where it's just like every game they just like bring it. I don't know what it is, and I think Michigan State would have a harder time with Ohio State. We just watched them play.
Right.
But maybe that's it too. That's just what I'm thinking about. But I don't know. I have a funny feeling it's gonna be Ohio State, Michigan State. Probably be wrong because I'm always wrong.
Fair.
It's gonna be. I'll probably go over. I can have the Bentley will kick the shit out of BC.
I mean, that is the one that feels the scariest. Like being BC and having the only quote unquote cake matchup, like that feels like the one that happens every year. It's like one of the bad matchups goes the other way, and that's the only bad matchup.
Yeah, and a couple of years it was like AIC pulling the shit off with fucking on the match.
Oh yeah, Gophers have never lost to a dog shit team in the first round. That's never occurred.
Never happened. Never happened. Totally. We've never seen it. Never watched it. That's what it is. Tell you what, though, tough timing for fucking Chicklets University to come out with Minnesota. I was like, I didn't like that. I did not like the vibes leading into the tournament. But the fact that Chicklets went into the Gophers and did that, they just released that.
Yeah, it took them like.
I did not watch.
To do it.
Yeah, I did not watch it. I was like, I will not.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that more once we talk about Fargo. But let's roll into Allentown.
This
all for
dude,
Maine.
This for me, Allentown is like it's the group of death. I fucking love that UConn and Quinnipiac are going 2 Connecticut teams going toe to toe in the first round. I think UConn. I think they only played once. They do this like Hartford or Connecticut Classic every year, where it's like those 2 teams. But like UConn's another team where like the top of their lineup, where like they've had so many kids transfer out or just graduate to the NHL that they've got way fewer NHL prospects on their roster right now. But I mean, they've got Joey Muldowney's at 27 goals in 37 games. That's another team. They just are like all over you for 60 minutes. And they've got like 3 guys with over 40 points this year. They're very like reliant on that like top 6. But they've got really good goaltending. And that top 6 is fucking legit. Like they score at will. They put up some crazy wins this year too. Like there was one game I watched. They kicked the shit. Oh god damn, it was like a month ago too. I really should have pulled this up earlier. There was one game I was watching where it was like, oh, this is a slaughter. Oh yeah, no, they had a weekend against Northeastern. Northeastern's taking a step back, but it was like they put up 13 goals in one weekend against fucking Northeastern. Okay. After going up toe to toe against Maine, BU, ULOL, UMass, like they are right there. And Quinnipiac, it's another very weird year where they may also, that was like another team that was maintaining like anywhere from like 10 to 15 in like national rankings when they were like 500. Now they really went off the last month and a half or so. I don't know if they lost a game. I should probably pull that up again too. But that's going to be a very fun game to watch. Like Quinnipiac got Nate Benoit, Minnesota Wild prospect, 2 assists this year. Transferring from Nodak. But I just love that 2 Connecticut teams go up against each other in the first round. But I fucking love this Maine team.
It's funny because they're the only 1 seed that like no one is picking.
I know, and it's crazy to me. Like they are so Maine fun to watch. I love Penn State, Bar.
Which people have like been like very outspoken, like, oh, Maine, one of the teams that doesn't want to have the 1 seeds host regionals, and it's like that backfired.
I mean, they just handled you. They literally just did this to UConn in that final. Was it BU in the semis? Or was it who? Oh my god. This is when the flu game really kicks in. Yeah, it was UConn Northeast. Oh my god, it was Northeastern. And they fucking kicked the shit out of ULOL in the first round. Jesus. But they're like, that's another team. They can just score at will. Like, I love watching them play. Also, one of the coolest barns in the country. They have a sick rink.
Also, the best jerseys in college hockey.
Phenomenal jerseys. People forget how bad they were the last, like, up until a year and a half, 2 years ago. Like, right when Ben Barr came in.
Oh, I don't forget that because I forgot that they were even a team for a while. Like, they disappeared.
They used to be, like, when they were winning national championships, like, the best recruiting in the country. Like, I mean, fucking Paul Gurria. It's insane that he went there.
Yeah.
Jim Montgomery lit it up 100 points in one season. But they're legit. I love watching them play, dude. So I think I'm gonna end up. I will take them to come out. But Penn State, dude, how often have they come in? They've beaten like every big team at least once. I feel like they split constantly every weekend where they go up against like a top 5 team in the country. I feel like they've come out splitting the weekend. So they're just like that is like them and Ohio State were the 2 teams where it was just like whoever gets them in the first round, they're gonna be like there's gonna be a pain in the ass. So we'll see what happens. But I just love Maine again, like you said, great jerseys. Again, phenomenal barn. That doesn't really matter because they're in Allentown, but I picked Maine to come out of here just because I'm riding the vibes with Maine.
Who are they beating to get out of there?
I think UConn. I've just believed in UConn more than I believed in Quinnipiac, even though, again, like UConn is pretty reliant on their top 6 and their goaltending, but I don't know. I'm picking Maine to come out against UConn.
Do you think Maine handles Penn State, or is that going to be a bloodbath?
No, I think it's going to be a close game. And like, I would not be shocked if it was a 3-2, 2-1, maybe even overtime. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's going to be a close one. Just because that's like Penn State will just, again, like.
They've been on one of the bigger heaters.
That's the thing, too. It's just like, that is, I can guarantee it was like fuck, we're getting Penn State in the first round where they are just
That's a
riding
bad
this fucking high. I don't like the idea of like the vibes as far as Penn State's concerned, but like Maine's riding a high right now. They're like, I also still love that for them, but that's gonna be a pain in the ass for them. Like, I think that is another situation where, like, that might be a tougher game than UConn or Quinnipiac either way. But yeah, no, this is like that. This is the group of death. It is like.
So you think this over Toledo?
I think this is like the group. Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is the one you really don't. This is the fucking quadrant you just don't. The 4 teams you really don't want to be in. Because you could see any 4 of these teams coming out. Like, legit. I mean, you could say that about Toledo too, I guess. But like Quinnipiac and UConn are right there neck and neck as far as like the national standings go. Penn State's riding this ridiculous high, and they've just been beating all the best teams in the country at least once every weekend, seemingly. And Maine's just doing their thing. We're riding those vibes too. So like, all 4 of these teams, if you told me that they were coming out, I'd be like, I could see it.
Fair. That brings us to the final regional. Fargo. We got Western Michigan hosting, call them what you want, Minnesota State or Mankato. And you got the Gophers with UMass. Let's start with the Western Michigan one because, like, sneaky could be, like, we're going to learn really fast whether or not Mankato's for real. Like, if their numbers hold up and what they've been doing in the CCHA is real, really shitty draw for Western Michigan to get. What do you make of this matchup?
I have a funny feeling Western Michigan is going to just, I think the first 10 minutes, they are going to be full throttle. They might be 3-0 up in 10 minutes. I just like watching them play. I just love Western Michigan. Like their whole, the way that they play is very fun to watch in general. And they just love to, like, the first 10 minutes are miserable. And I do think Mankato just gets exposed here. I like, not to talk shit about Mankato because
no,
you know,
totally. But I feel the same way, and it's not like from a negative stance. Like they're a solid team, and they're easily the best team in the CCHA. But I'm excited to see what it looks like against like actual competition. Like I hope that they prove me wrong and that they like can absolutely hold up against a team like Western Michigan. I don't see it personally.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just pulling up the Western Michigan's past however many games. Four goals in a double OT win over Denver. 4 goals in the first round against North Dakota. They scored 6 in the quarterfinal in each game against St. Cloud. Put up 5 and 8 against Miami. Who cares? 3 against North Dakota. 6 against like they just score a million fucking goals.
But now pull up Mankato's stats. How many goals did they
I
allow?
don't even. That's the thing. I don't care. But I mean, Alex Bump doing his thing, 23 and 23.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's Tim Wash. That's who. I'm trying to remember his fucking name. But I mean, they just get tons of scoring.
But see, you forget that there's royal family lineage in Mankato.
True. That's a good
Rhett
point.
of House Pitlick.
Yeah, the Rhett of House Pitlick. That's a good point.
I don't know. I'm gonna be fascinated to see it, but I'm definitely in your camp where I think Western is going to expose them. But I would love to be proven wrong. I think it could be a very interesting matchup if it's like all firepower versus all defense. Like it makes for an interesting way. And I kind of a hot take. I don't know. Gophers are fortunate that they lost as early as they did to Notre Dame because they would have been the 1 seed in this regional, and them against Mankato scares me a hell of a lot more than Western against Mankato. And this matchup with UMass feels, and I'm going to defer to you because you've seen way more UMass than me, but this feels like a way softer landing for a team that's going to be coming in with like 3 weeks not playing.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like Minnesota versus Mankato is the game where you're just like, I don't care if one team's 0 wins this year. and one team's undefeated, it's a 50-50. Like it's just how this fucking goes in this region here. Versus Western Michigan, I just really have a funny feeling they're gonna run the table on them. UMass, I would say if you're gonna be in this, like this is the matchup for Minnesota. That being said, UMass has had a really unexpectedly like unbelievable year where they're pulling off wins against Maine. They beat them 5-1 recently, and then they lost in a shootout. They beat BC. They've beaten Lowell. Like there's one other one. Oh yeah, they beat. Oh yeah, UConn. They've beat that. Like they're having, especially the last like month and a half too. They've just been pulling off these like ridiculous wins, and that's another team that like they can score up and down their lineup. That being said, I still believe in the firepower of Minnesota to like take UMass here in this first round. And I do think like realistically, when you just look at all the matchups in the first round, like Minnesota having UMass again, like UMass is legit, like they're good. Again, like Mankato is always gonna be a weird matchup anyways with Minnesota, and Western Michigan scares the fuck out of me no matter who's playing them. So I think like I'm taking Minnesota to beat UMass, and I'm taking Western Michigan to beat Mankato. I'm gonna roll with Minnesota here.
For me, I mean, it goes either way, right? Like they're gonna either come in cold and get embarrassed by UMass, or they're gonna come in and that's gonna be the springboard to them feeling good. And I do think that on paper, like I think they're a better team than Western Michigan. That said, if they have any missteps, like Western Michigan will punish them, you know. Mm-hmm. But if they get through that first game and they're playing their game and they get back to where they were when we were buzzing over them back in December, like I still think on paper Minnesota is one of the best teams in the country. It's just which version of that team on paper are we going to see? They are very Jekyll Hyde, and I think if they come in and take care of business against UMass, I think they have the horses. Wow, no pun intended there. To get past Western Michigan, this is a very favorable draw for them. Mm-hmm. As far as the 2-3 matchups that you see across all of these regionals, like UMass was the best one they could have hoped for. Doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy game by any means, but I don't know. I was not mad when I saw these draws. Now, if you ask Colby Cohen, Gophers have no chance, but
the greatest. I do have one bit of bad news for Minnesota.
Uh-oh.
UMass does have one of our former all-name team players. There is Francesco Del Elce, DELL''ELCE. First name Francesco.
Now, you know what though? I got some bad news for UMass. There's only two Minnesota teams in this regional. I don't know if you remember the famous, renowned Frozen Four that had 3 Minnesota teams plus UMass. Of course, fucking UMass wins. Like that was the most Minnesota Frozen Four ever.
Unbelievable.
So the fact there's only 2, like it bodes a little bit better. But Jupe, go for puck live. If Jimmy doesn't perform, they are going nowhere. Hard to disagree with that. I also think the guy that really needs to get back on the score sheet, because I've liked a lot of what Jimmy's done. He just hasn't been scoring. I need to see top tier Brody Zemer back, because he's been in and out of it. And like, you've seen him, like his physicality is still there. He's like played fine hockey, but dude, he was a menace for a stretch. Like there were times where like I was ready to be like, holy crap, is he our best player? Mm-hmm. If he can get back to it, and if Jimmy can just find the back of the net, dude, Oliver Moore has been a man possessed. And I say of late. They haven't played of late, but rewind it, go back to whatever of late means. Like, he's not the problem on that line. They'll get going, and whatever combination they throw with Wood and Kurth, like, I think that's the line that's going to be the difference maker. Like, as long as Jimmy's generating opportunities, even if he's not scoring goals, like if they're a problem, taking all the attention, and you can get that Kurth-Wood combo, that could be what does it. And of course, there's the question mark at goaltending.
That was my next question.
Guys, but who's playing? Like, we
That's
actually don't know who's in
that.
That
Was my question I was going to ask you. Is it Soulier or you?
I want Soulier, yeah, but I'm going to be honest. If they put Ari in, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I believe in the kid. It's just, I don't know.
That's one thing I really wish that wasn't a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I really hate the fact that that's a question and they haven't played in 2 weeks. Like, I hate that.
That's damn near 3.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, that's really like, and granted, Colby Cohen was going to shit on the Gophers no matter what, but he's right. Like, I think it's 19 days without playing an actual game. That's a problem. That is a real problem. And that's why, like, again, I think UMass is a very fortunate game, far from being a guarantee, but like, hey, if they can get right in this game, Western Michigan does not want to play the Gophers. Like, that's a real shit matchup for 1-2. So
yeah. And I mean, we'll see what version of Michael Robel shows up for UMass. I mean, he's played like 34 of their games this year in that. He's legit. But the two players on UMass I love, first of all, Adar Suniev. Oh my God, can he play? He's got 18 and 18 this year. He is like ridiculously skilled. He fucking hits. He can score goals. He's legit. And then Kenny Connors has been a beast for them. I think he's under a point per game, but like he factors all 3 zones too. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, the fact that you've got like 6'6" Michael Robel sitting in net, and like we've seen what he's done before at like World Juniors too. Like he's a big game player, big game goaltender, and he's like, he's played almost every fucking game for them. I think it's been like only 4 games he hasn't played.
That's also a concern,
which is crazy. Like he said, 4 games off all year. But, so we'll see what happens. But again, I'm taking Minnesota here. Is it over UMass? Yes, I'm just taking them.
Yeah.
And is it gonna be like a homer pick for them to come out of here? Probably, because again, Western Michigan does scare the fucking shit out of me.
But for the 1 seeds, like, that's who you want, right? You don't want Maine, you don't want Michigan State, you don't want BC.
Right.
Like it could have gone the other way, where the Gophers could have been the 1 and Western was the 2. Like it's the 4-5. If you look at the like full seeding, like this is as close of a matchup as you're going to get for that next one. So
yeah. The only things that are, I was about to say the only things that rattle off every Boxler concern. I don't know like what the line combos are going to look like, and I don't know who's starting in net. But the other one question I'm going to have is what Sam Rinzel is going to show up to.
Yeah.
You know, like, are we going to get first like 15 games, Sam Rinzel? At that point, that is an absolute X factor for you, where it's like he's going to fucking play 30 minutes. He's going to be a beast, and he's probably going to put up 3 points. Like, he's an animal. It's just like, that's another question. But I mean, the fact that Oliver Moore is buzzing is a big plus for me too. Like, yeah, the way that he's played, not again, like you said, not lately. No one's played lately, but he's just been a fucking animal. Second half of the year, he's just been good. Where it's like he's also making a lot of plays that don't result in points anyways, but like he's been solid. He's been fine, like a positive all year. But second half of the year, he's just like, it's like big moments in big games. He's stepping up and like making plays. So I love that. So I love the player. Love watching him play. But we're taking the Gophers, baby. Oh. Just doing it. Hopefully Mankato just like at least like kicks, like physically grinds Western Michigan down too. Like that's the other thing where it's like Mankato is like fucking brutal team to play. So it's just like it's not fun. And it's like playing in mud. So
yeah, they'll forget how to score.
Yeah, they will. But yeah, I love like the matchups are fucking phenomenal though. There's at least there's only like a 1 or 2 where I'm like, I don't really care about this one.
I really just one, right?
Yeah, actually, literally one. I was trying to like say that, but yeah, no.
Yeah, fair point. After the first period, we'll pretty much know what's happening.
yeah.
Like, really.
Dude, what a weird. Yeah.
And of course, that game had to be scheduled during the Ovechkin game. So now I might not even go.
Like, come on.
Bad. Just bad taste. Oh, Jupe's taking Maine for his champion pick, which, Z, we got to do it. Like, you picked your 4 teams to advance. How do you see it breaking down from there? Who wins it?
I would love to say Maine, but I don't see that. Another big part of me really just wants to say Minnesota.
That's a scary pick.
I might go, given especially how the matchups look leading up to it, I might take Michigan State here. Like, again, love Maine, heart pick. Picking them to come out of that region anyways. Michigan State, I'm going to take them over, like I said, take them over Cornell. And I think Ohio State takes BU. But I think Michigan State can handle them. And at that point, I'm taking Michigan State. I think as far as the path to the championship game goes, Michigan State's got a pretty nice, if you there's going to be tough matchups everywhere. But as far as this, where they find themselves in the bracket, I could see them pulling that off. So I think my brain says Michigan State more than any other team. Because
it's reasonable.
Yeah. But there is a part of me that would love, imagine a BC BU national championship game. Everyone would fucking hate it, except for me, because I would love to watch them kick the shit out of each other.
Dude, you watched it in person. Michigan State, Minnesota would be an insane championship.
That's another great one. Yeah, Stramel would kill someone probably. For sure.
No, guaranteed. Poor Gruba.
Poor Gruba got murdered. I'll never forget the noise that hit made. I think I grabbed his shoulder. I was like, "Oh, I think he's dead."
It's one of those ones where the wind gets knocked out of you. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No. What would be a very I'm looking at the matchups now where it's a potential national championship game that'd be a very fun hockey game that no one would have penciled in. Might be Western Michigan, Maine in a national championship game, just super fucking random. Have not seen that. Well, obviously never seen it, but 2 teams that at the start of the season you never would have been yeah, it's gonna be Western Michigan and Maine in the national championship.
Penn State, Mankato.
Cornell versus Bentley. The least watched national championship game of all time.
No, dude, that's how it would go. It would be Bentley, Minnesota, and Bentley would win.
Yeah.
Who's their Gostas bear?
They're on the same side, though, right? Yeah, they're on the same side. Minnesota versus. No, all those. I think the matchup on the other side of the bracket would be really good.
Minnesota, Penn State. Do they play Soulier?
Have to. I'm excited though, man. I can't wait.
That's gonna be fun.
I love the way the bracket turned out. I think every game is gonna be incredible. Maybe BC might fucking run Bentley, but who knows? Bentley's also pulled off a couple wins every year. They've got 1 or 2 against some of the top dogs.
I genuinely didn't know they existed.
Yeah, no, yeah, they've had the school has 3,000 people, 2 or 3,000. It's a tiny school. Yeah, it's out here. But yeah, I don't know. I think we did the thing. Flu game. Oh, that's true too. But a potential of Pitlick versus Minnesota.
Sounds very fun.
Yeah.
He also might get murdered.
Group. I'll kill him. Actually, no, it would be Hess might murder him.
Who?
Oh God. What did I say? I said, oh my God, I said Kess. Kester.
Oh,
I literally said Kess like your dog.
yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Kessel.
Yeah, I think
been a while.
Kester might murder him.
That could be fun. And I mean, I'll still stand by this. I loved the stick toss, Sally. I know they lost the game. Don't care. That
Don't care.
rocked so much.
Don't care. Yeah, I'm all in on the stick toss.
Tell you, if he did that in this tournament, all in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. I got nothing else.
There we go.
I should have muted for that one.
I'll do it. You guys go enjoy the Wild game. What? I don't even know what the score is right now.
Haven't looked. 0-0.
First period's about to end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. We'll be back next week with more draft stuff. I'm sure we'll talk about the first round or the first few games of the Frozen Four. Yeah.
Hopefully healthier.
Ideally, with me, apparently never again, though. Apparently I'll never be healthy again. Battler.
It's tough.
Warrior. Throw it to my back. Do what I can. See you next week.